Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 10th of February, going through until Sunday the 16th of February 2020. It's really nice to be with you today. I'm going to give you a day-by-day breakdown of what this week holds, what you can expect on each day. So what I've done is I've looked at the energy that the planets form between one another. And this week it's all about love being dangerous, and it's all about coming to your senses, and sometimes that's on and you're there, and sometimes it's off. So your judgment, your common sense is going to be on and off during certain periods and days during the week, which I am going to highlight for you. My horoscopes are based on UK time, so if you're elsewhere, take the time difference into account, although you don't need to get too hung up on the timings. These things gradually change. For instance, yesterday on the 9th of February, we had a full moon in Leo. I made a separate video on that. Have a look at that video, because the effects don't just last on the 9th. You know, the moon builds up, so the 8th, then the 9th is the full moon, and then the 10th, it's still pretty much full. It starts waning and letting go. So that that energy of the moon is still very strong, but like I said in last week's video, it goes into Virgo at the end of the day. So this week starts very differently than Sunday, the 9th, which was like Leo, fun, happiness, cheerfulness. So these readings are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everyone who watches. Monday, the 10th of February, we have Venus in Aries. So Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and creativity. In Aries, she's a bit much. I want love now. That's not how you get love. You can't grab and pull and get. It conjuncts Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's one of the centaurs. You're self-aware that if you do kind of take that attitude, you'll get hurt. The Virgo moon allows you to really be comfortable with information and making sense of that information yourself and coming up with meaning and answers to your own problems. It's opposed to Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, the communication planet, and the communication planet is in Pisces. So the communication planet is totally in a bubble over there, fantasizing, daydreaming. And your Virgo moon is saying, it's okay, we can analyze this ourselves. We don't need other people's input. We can make sense of this solo. The Virgo moon trines Jupiter in Capricorn, the lucky planet in the sign of the worker. So if you analyze the information and work hard, the lucky planet supports you. And the moon also opposes Neptune in Pisces, the water planet of intuition, dreams, humanity, love, the higher octave of Venus. So you're all about this Virgo moon today, and the Virgo moon, because it's still so full and powerful, it gives you an extreme discipline, and it gives you the ability to sift through piles and mountains of information without becoming overwhelmed, actually enjoying that process, and finding meaning in the information that you're working with without letting your emotions get in the way. So for instance, if your grandmother has passed away and you need to clean out the house, her apartment, then every time, you know, you find a coat and you break down because you remember that's the time we went to the church together and she wore that coat and it was so lovely. Then if you react emotionally to every sentimental piece in that apartment, you're never going to clear it. So this is the kind of day where you can take action without becoming emotional. The best way to use the day, therefore, do you hear that storm? It's like blizzard outside. No, not a blizzard, it's just stormy. So on Monday, the way to make the best of it is to focus on work rather than your relationships. The good luck planet Jupiter is in Capricorn, so luck will come from being productive. On Tuesday, the 11th of February, we have the moon going into Libra at 11:38 in the evening. For some of you living in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi and in India and Goa and Thailand and Singapore and Hong Kong and Australia and Perth and Sydney and New Zealand, you will have this happen on Wednesday because you're ahead. And for the people west of Europe, Americas, it'll happen in the early evening. So around 6:38 if you're on the East Coast, 3:38 if you're on the West Coast. The Libra moon then opposes Chiron in Aries. So the moon moving into Libra immediately stops you focusing on just information and work, and it makes you able to connect with other people. You have the ability to connect with anyone from every different walk of life, and you become very likable and charming. You're able to bridge the gap between you and other people, or you're able to mediate and bring two things that haven't been able to come together. You're the medium and you're able to bring those two elements together. So you're like sticky glue today. When it comes to bringing other people together, you're an agent, a medium. The Libra moon opposes Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer, the centaur, and it forms a harmonious relationship. It quincunxes Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of the unexpected, chaos, electricity, lightning striking. In Taurus, it's in a practical, physical sense. So Tuesday, the energy shifts completely. And rather than just being on your lonesome, kind of working through information, making sense of things, today, Tuesday, it's really good to connect with other people again. There is a far smaller risk of getting hurt by someone else on Tuesday than on Monday. On Monday, if you get involved with other people too much, it's likely that you could get hurt. Still be cautious though on Tuesday the 11th. Someone or something may throw you a curveball that you have to duck and that you have to kind of work with. So someone may say something outrageous which really offends you, but you have to finish the project for the rest of the day and you have to keep working with that person. So it's that kind of being able to bite your tongue, that ability to say, okay, I'm going to not rip him a new one now by saying, how dare you speak to me in this way. I'm going to bite my tongue for the greater good so we can get this project done. That's Libra. It's about the community. So you're able to really put yourself on the back burner and to see projects and work as something really, really meaningful and positive. Yes, it is positive and great to be productive, but it isn't everything in the world. However, on Tuesday, the 11th, the best way to use the energy is to connect with other people in a working sense and to work with them on something rather than to connect with people on an emotional level, because you will be thrown a curveball, and if it's in the romantic sphere, it can be much more hurtful. If you're retired, what is it that you're working on? Your hobbies, your painting, your writing, your creativity, your performance, whatever it may be, whatever you're working on, you're able to let other people in with that. You may get an idea that you never had in a positive way. Someone like, if you have a title which is, for instance, put downs, someone may come up with a better title of something funny. Someone may come up with tart retorts or something like that, you see? And you wouldn't have thought of that, so other people can really inspire your work, and that's why it's useful to be around other people in a working sense on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the 12th of February, we have the Libra moon, still in Libra, opposing its ruler, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, which is in Aries. Aries opposes Libra. It's 180 degrees away. So Venus, love, push, 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 in Aries, and the Libra moon, let's connect with everyone, we're all equal, we're all cool. They're really at odds with one another today. The Libra moon squares, so it causes friction with Jupiter in Capricorn, the lucky planet, which says work, work, work. And it forms a harmonious relationship with Mercury, the communication planet, and the way you think, and Neptune, the feeling side of things, your conscience, what feels right for you. That sits right next to Mercury, and they're both in Pisces, so they're very spiritual. They see everything from a very philosophical point of view. It's easy to be philosophical about things like being subpoenaed or someone dying when it happens to other people. But when it happens to you, it's far harder to remain philosophical and to see it objectively. So on Wednesday, the 12th, it's a day where you really have to be careful that you don't get involved in a romantic relationship with someone new who seems to be perfect for you. You're really seeing things through rose-tinted spectacles because of that Mercury and Neptune in Pisces, and you're likely to project your ideals and your fantasies onto someone else, and those fantasies have nothing to do with that actual person. Once you get to know that person, you'll realize that what you've been projecting is totally untrue. So again, the best way to use the energy of Wednesday is to work. And it's to work on creating something beautiful, or by being productive through work, through volunteering, through pursuing your hobbies, or whatever it may be. But the first couple of days of this week are saying that love is kind of iffy. Protect yourself. Your common sense is a little bit off, and throw yourself into work, or what you work on in retirement, or if you're a student, then what you do to work on the side. Like maybe you're studying ecology, and on the side you have your own little allotment where you grow your own carrots and stuff and your own beetroots. Work on that rather than trying to convince someone to like you or explain your feelings. It's not going to go down very well, so it's a waste of time, so be practical. I'm telling you that if you keep talking and trying to explain yourself over the first 3 days of the week, it's just hot air. There's no need for it. You're wasting your time. On Thursday, the 13th of February, we have the Libra moon. So it stays in Libra for a while, a couple of days here. It trines the sun in Aquarius. So the moon in Libra, saying let's connect with other people, is in cahoots now with the sun, which says I want to be of service to people. The Libra moon squares Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, so it's at odds with the planet of transformation and the planet of structure, which are at odds with one another anyway. They're both in Capricorn, the sign of the worker. So the Libra moon is saying, I don't want that much to do with those two guys today. But the moon sextiles Mars in Sagittarius, so instead, the Libra moon connects with Mars, the opposite of its ruler, Venus, female principle, Mars, male principle, the soldier, the builder. That's in Sagittarius, a fire sign, so it's delighted. It's going to give you a lot of oomph and a sense of power on Thursday, the 13th of February. So, on Thursday, this is a good day to work, and to work with others in any capacity. By throwing yourself into work, you may be surprised at who's been watching your amazing diligence at work. So if you are someone in that situation, you're working and you're working for other people, expect some recognition on Thursday or some sort of positive surprise. If you're solo, working by yourself, or you're retired and you just work on something that you don't get paid for, you'll very likely receive some form of validation for what you're doing. Whether it comes from outside or inside, or it doesn't matter, you're going to be more certain and you get validation that something in your life that you're doing is good and right and that you should keep on doing it and make it bigger. So if the universe is saying, hey, Lisa, this one part of your life is really, really good, we want you to thrive in that area, so we're supporting you. Build that area up. If it's your allotment that suddenly creates amazing vegetables and you never saw that coming because you're working as an ecologist, and your allotment suddenly becomes this gold mine of these magic purple carrots or whatever it may be, then your hobby, the thing that you work on that's really a labor of love, you'll be validated in that and expect something positive. Also, ask yourself on Thursday, am I doing what I feel guided to do, or am I doing this for the money? What am I supposed to do? It will give you answers on Thursday the 13th, and by it, I mean your connection with the universe will give you answers, and it will naturally empower you. So it's like sucking up certainty via the air. If you really struggle on Thursday and you still don't know what to do, and it's just completely a blur, and you don't know how to connect with your angels or your guides, and you're completely at a loss, and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'd really like to seize these opportunities, but I can't pray. Only, some people get faith, but I'm not lucky enough to have that. That's a faulty belief, by the way. You can amend that and find a faith. Or it's just like, I can't even sit still for 2 seconds. How does he expect me to look at what I'm guided to do? If you're in that situation, that's why people like me exist, then please get in touch with me for a personal reading, and I can look at your birth chart and give you some direction, hopefully. Otherwise, listen on Thursday very closely, because it's been all about work, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now Thursday is like, bing, this is the work you're meant to do. On Friday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to all the couples in love out there. The moon moves into Scorpio at 39 minutes past midnight. So Scorpio is intense. Scorpio likes to get to the truth. It's also very sexual. It rules the sacral chakra in our chakra system, and the sacral the root chakra, the sacral chakra is the second one up. The root chakra is the red one, and it rules money and having a roof over your head and the body and sex and connecting on a really physical, earthy level. The Scorpio moon opposes Uranus in Taurus, so it's saying no drama, please, no chaos in the physical. I don't want to deal with that. The moon instead trines, so it hooks up with Mercury and Neptune in Pisces instead. And remember that Mercury is the communication planet, and the moon is now in Scorpio in a water sign. Mercury is in a water sign, and the water planet Neptune is in a water sign of Pisces. So it's really, really watery now. You're falling into a pond here on Friday the 14th, energetically, in the sense of how the elements are changing. The Scorpio moon also sextiles Jupiter in Capricorn, so that's harmonious and positive. So that says if you take your ideas and you work with them in a practical way, good luck will be showered on you. The Scorpio moon also quincunxes Venus in Aries and Chiron in Aries. So it's forming this harmonious relationship with, I will take love even if it hurts, because I want it and it's intense, and all I want is intensity, and I just want to feel something. For goodness sake, I want to feel something. That is dangerous, when you're in that place of, I'm so bored with life, it's just get up and work and sleep and get up and work and sleep. Where's my fun? When did I get so old? Why don't I just have a moment of joy and freedom? That's what all those midlife crises are about, because if we just follow the rules of society, go to university, work, conform, it's just like, okay, I've done that, okay, was that it? Really? I need to find something that makes my life my own again. So Valentine's Day is not about, oh, I love you so much. This is really a true love story with yourself, and that's much better than any stupid Asda Savings Valentine's card for 55p that says I love you so much. So, with that combination, Friday the 14th, I do have to warn you that you do have your rose-tinted spectacles on again, because Mercury and Neptune in Pisces move around to connect with the moon, the way you feel, in another water sign, Scorpio. So it's all feeling, feeling, feeling. I want to get to the truth of this, and I'm meeting this woman and I just feel like I know her. It's super, super intense. So because it's so intense, can you hear the rain? I'm saying intense and the rain gets intense. Instant manifestation, hooray. I love it. Okay, I hope you can still hear me though, okay. So don't make a commitment on Friday the 14th that you'll regret later. Like, remember poor Pamela Anderson recently? Oh, I love Pamela Anderson because she's just been like present in my life since I was a little boy. She was on Baywatch. I also love Britney Spears because she's my age, and I've been through her ups and downs. But Pam Anderson, she got married recently for 12 days and ended the marriage after 12 days. And some people may laugh at that and think it's ridiculous. I don't. I think that you can be completely in love with someone, and apparently she just came back from a retreat in India and her heart was too open. I don't find that funny at all. I think that's very real. So she was in love with herself and she opened herself to someone else, projecting all of that love onto the other person. And then when she saw things clearly, that she was the one giving all of this, that's why it worked so well. And that he really gave Zippo, and if she stopped being so loving that she would get nothing back, that's when you're like, uh-oh, I made a mistake here, let's get out of this. So the Valentine's Day is that kind of energy. I'm telling you not to make a commitment you'll regret later. If you do start something new on Valentine's Day, please do try and wait until Mercury, the communication planet, which goes retrograde on the 16th of February, so at the end of the week on Sunday, but it stays in retrograde until the 9th of March. And also, before it goes retrograde, it kind of seems to sit still. So a few days before, communication starts to get a little bit iffy. So Friday the 14th is 2 days away from Mercury going retrograde, and it's not the ideal Valentine's Day. Because of Mercury being really, really slow, if you can hold off on, taking your relationship to the next level until you can see things more clearly, communication between the two of you will alter from the 9th of March onwards, and that's when you can really trust and see that you've got the right person. From the 9th of March, I would then still give it a couple of weeks until the end of March, because meeting someone on the 14th here is something that can be like the Pam Anderson situation, where it's bliss and then 12 later it's like, oh, I have to unwind all this mess now. So on the 9th of March, remember that you're going to see things clearly again without the rose-tinted spectacles, and that you can make better decisions. Also, on the 14th, a lot of us are going to be alone. If you're single and alone, and let's grow up here. If you want to just if you want to hook up with someone, like a one-off, just to make you feel less lonely, if you do that, you'll feel emptier afterwards than ever. Be your own Valentine to yourself, okay? I don't know, it's really something that you guys know me, and this thing is something that I've struggled with. Do I have the conventional relationship and the children, and do I try and do all of that, or do I become a confirmed bachelor, and what choice do I have, and how is life kind of giving me opportunities? All of those things. Is life pushing me into that situation, or have I chosen it? And I don't have all the answers, but ever since I've come back from Brighton and feel like I don't want to be with anyone, I am okay within myself, I'm married to myself sort of thing. Since then, I feel like this huge burden has just dropped off me, and the way it manifested itself is that it just lost weight. It's just like, I don't care anymore. I don't need this thing to complete me. It's okay. I think I felt shame around being alone. I think I felt the need to conform to some sort of social construct because I've always been such an outsider that I felt that at least I need to conform in some way, but I don't. I've realized that I'm really happy with my own company. So that sense of, oh, I'm alone and I just need some human contact, and you have a one-night stand, it's not going to be a good one. That's all I'm saying. If you do want to have a one-night stand, plan it for another day when you're less emotionally fragile, okay? Because one-night stands, you have to be okay emotionally to do that, because you're not going to get any spiritual nourishment from that hookup. On Saturday, the 15th of February, the moon is still in Scorpio, so, oh, I wanted intense, please. That's your feeling. It squares the sun in Aquarius, so it's like, okay, humanitarianism, not so much. I'd really just want to feel things intensely. The Scorpio moon also trines Neptune in Pisces, so it forms a harmonious relationship with the water planet and a harmonious relationship with the Phoenix rising from the ashes, Pluto, and Saturn, the structure and foundation and head teacher planet. On Saturday the 15th, your feelings may betray you, and your usual good judgment goes out the window. Don't be too trusting today on Saturday the 15th. Don't be naive. You've been around. Today is important to be vigilant and to listen to your gut. Rely on your higher self, your experience, and your common sense, and deliberately, when you go into the day on Saturday, say, okay, this guy on the internet said, my common sense and my feelings and my gut reaction, they're going to be kind of turned off today. So whether he's right or not, I'll just in case, I'm going to deliberately turn on my common sense in the morning. So I'm going to visualize that. Common sense switch on. Emotional clarity switch on. Good judgment switch on. You do that in the morning, you go out in the day. Because those switches are on, you're vigilant. If someone seems off and like they're not a positive experience, you will naturally retreat from that situation and get yourself out of it. If you find yourself standing in front of the vicar, the pastor, and you're getting married suddenly after only knowing her for 45 minutes, that ought to be the red flag for you, that you ought to come to your senses and stop, because that is too much. It's not what you would usually do. Common sense would say that it's not a good idea. Some people have known each other for 45 minutes and have got married and have stayed together for 50 years. Yes, you always have the exceptions, but I would say that knowing someone for 45 minutes is not enough to marry someone. I would say it takes 46 minutes. I'm joking. So just don't go overboard with your feelings, okay? And try and remember that I have a life. This fantasy that's happening on Saturday has nothing to do with my life, really. This is a one-off day where the emotions and the feelings are so intense. So the Valentine's energy, you know, because everyone believes in Valentine's Day, the 14th of January, for February, all these people put this love or this need, this longing energy out there. And I find Valentine's Day going out, you get hit with this massive wave of neediness and loneliness and love, and it's an intense thing that we as human beings create. So there's more activity happening around Valentine's Day because everyone is feeling things more intensely. So if you're desperately lonely and you're like, oh my God, at this stage I will take anyone just to have some company. Don't do that, because your feelings may betray you on Saturday and you'll end up with someone who you then can't get out of your apartment. You're like, I'm so lonely, I'll take this guy in. Yeah, whether it's a romantic or not romantic relationship. He says, oh yeah, I've just got back from Cuba and I just need a week to get back on my feet. Can I stay with you for a week? And you're like, yeah, sure. You won't get him out for a couple of months. Careful. Sunday, the 16th of February, we have the moon going into Sagittarius at 8 minutes past 4. This is lovely because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the lucky planet, and the moon in Sagittarius is optimistic. It wants to gallop and it wants to explore and have fun. Mercury goes retrograde. Wah, wah. The communication planet goes retrograde from the 16th of February until the 9th of March. Mercury retrograde usually causes communication issues. It causes issues with being on time, other people misunderstanding what you've said, your luggage gets lost, the internet doesn't work, the light switch doesn't go on properly. It's just niggling little annoying things. It's in Pisces though. Pisces is spirituality, your feelings. So your feelings can be a little bit off, so make sure that you don't just immediately spring into action because you felt something, okay? Make sure that you put it into context and see if it's a good decision deliberately before you just, oh, who cares, I feel this right now, I'm in the moment, let's do it. No. Mars moves into Capricorn. That's a positive thing. Mars is the male principle of drive, desire, masculinity, building, pushing through obstacles. In Capricorn, in the sign of the worker, Mars can really be the builder, the concrete pourer, the construction guy who builds the cathedral. It's very, very, very practical. The Sagittarius moon on this day also squares Mercury in Pisces, so it's like, I don't want so much to do with your faulty communication energy over there, you know, keep it away from me. Instead, the moon trines, so it forms a positive relationship with Venus and Chiron in Aries. So it's like, I'd rather talk to these other fire planets, Venus in love, and desperately forceful to say, I get the love I want. You can't get love. You can't grab it. Love appears, and the more you grab for it, the more it runs away from you. I mean, I can really say truthfully that, hand on heart, I've had a little bit of experience with this. And when you give up, and it's not easy to give up. It's just like, people say, when you stop looking for someone, that's when you'll meet someone. No, I've stopped looking for someone for a long time and I've not met anyone. I've looked, I've not looked. The point is, what is the point? The point is that you can gallop off into the lion's den today happily with a smile on your face, not doing what you're getting yourself into. Because Mars is saying work on something. Mercury's in retrograde, so you're totally like, I don't even know what I like. Sagittarius moon is going gallop, move ahead. It squares Mercury in Pisces. It trines Venus and Chiron in Aries. Like I said, they're encouraging it. They're saying go, 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 go. And it quincunxes, so it's more positive and more positive relationships with Uranus and Taurus. So it makes friends with the wounded healer and the chaotic. So when you run with that kind of company, expect chaos and pain. This is a week I've never really warned people as much, I think, as I have with this week. You really need to get real with yourself. It's really coming to terms of your feelings. Just because you feel something and you think something does not make it true. And that's what you're going to learn here on Sunday, if you haven't learned it already. And it is so liberating and such a, I mean, it doesn't sound like the best moment to, oh, I realize that I've been wrong about all my feelings. It's not like, yay, let's celebrate, but it's a freedom. It's like, whew, it's another load off your shoulders. So today, with all of this energy, you are really out of touch with yourself and you want to experience fun. You want to have adventures, you want to have excitement. You know, like earlier I was speaking about this, you know, this midlife crisis, this energy to just feel and thrive, this desperate feeling to live and feel alive again, returns on Sunday. And that's why you're galloping into the lion's den happily, because you're just compelled to take action, which is going to land you in a situation which you then have to unravel. So you lose your perspective. Make sure again, like you did on Saturday, you say common sense on, clarity of emotions on, good judgment on. Make sure you don't neglect the ones who actually love you and who you love. And pay attention when someone else is speaking to you. And don't just be self-absorbed, but open up to other people's ideas. There's another day in the week where other people's ideas are positive. And I spoke about that earlier, where someone chips in a different title for the book. So here again, if you're able to calm yourself down, good ideas can come via other people or your head. And also please, now that Mercury is in retrograde on the 16th of February here, so the communication issues and the plane being late, all of that stuff, please don't, if you can avoid it, please don't commit to anything that is permanent if you can possibly avoid it. If you can't, then listen to your gut. I know I've said your feelings betray you, but your feelings are something different than your intuition, because your intuition is your conscience, it's your real self, it's the you that you know you are. And listen to that. If it's saying no, there's just, if something feels off, then don't do it, because it's going to contain that feeling of something is off for the duration of its life. If something seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true on Sunday the 16th. So don't let yourself be hustled into taking some flat which they've just kind of shown you, and 10 minutes before they sprayed it with Febreze so that the smell of, I don't know, the cows next door is mitigated, so that when you come and see the flat, it smells lovely and you love the flat and you say, of course I'll take it. And then you move in and it's like cow dung every day and you're like, oh, what did I get myself into here? You know, like when I moved to Brighton, that woman, she knew that the guys next door, they were gonna redo their apartment. I don't know if she knew that, but they redid their whole apartment. They refurbed it for like months. And I had the scaffolding in the work outside in front of my windows. So she basically was like, oh, okay, my flat's gonna be under construction for the next 4, 5, 6 months. So I'll just let it out for someone, and I'll be in London and I'll have the peace and quiet, and I'll get an income from someone who can then enjoy the noise while I have peace and quiet. That kind of thing will catch up with you if you do that kind of thing today, because you're committing to something still where you're deliberately screwing someone over. And anyway, if you're screwing people over, you will get what goes around comes around, okay? So if you're watching this and you're a complete ass, bye. No, then you will get what's coming to you. That's the law of the universe. If we behave badly, we get bad results. So yeah, if it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true on Sunday, then it really is. So that's what I get for you this week for Monday the 10th of February until Sunday the 16th of February 2020. It's been a pleasure doing this for you. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. click on the button on the front page of the website to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, I use the tarot, I use numerology, and I'm an intuitive astrologer and an intuitive tarot reader. So I use my antennas to listen to what comes in as well. If you have any questions, I can answer those for you. So please do get in touch and choose the reading that you would like. If you want to support me and the channel with camera equipment and new tarot cards and all of those kinds of things, then please support me on Patreon. There's a link in the, I'll put a link in the description. It's just a way of supporting the channel if you like it, and if you want to, I'd be ever so grateful. Please share the video. I'm asking you for so much, but yeah, please share the video, subscribe if you like it, don't subscribe if you don't like it, whatever you want really. I hope that this reading has just given you something to go on and maybe been useful, and I hope you have an amazing week. Have a lovely Valentine's Day. Mwah! I'm sending you lots of kisses, and I'll speak to you next week.